Hey everyone, I'm back with another quick review of a fragrance that I really love, although I don't own a bottle of it yet, but I have owned many samples of this in the past, and I have a pretty large 5 milliliter decant of this fragrance. It's one that I'm contemplating getting, and it's called Passant, and it's from Frederic Malle. It's probably my second favorite perfume from this house. The first favorite is definitely Iris Poudre, which I do own. I think I tend to go for more of the floral fragrances from this house. I am not that enamored with their more popular offerings. I know they're more known for their stronger, heavy hitters, like Portrait of a Lady and Musc Ravageur. I do like Musc Ravageur. It's not my favorite though. Portrait of a Lady, that is one that I've given so many chances, and I just cannot learn to love it. I appreciate it for what it is, but it's not one that moves me. But their floral fragrances are, I think, works of art because of how realistic the floral notes smell like. So En Passant is a great example of it, because what Olivia Giacobetti did in this fragrance is that she uses quite a bit of lilac, which is a note that I really enjoy. But something else that she's known for doing, and she does it well in this fragrance, is mixing two unexpected notes together. So in this case, we have the lilac, and she puts it together with a pretty high concentration of cucumber. I would probably argue that these two notes are possibly the most disliked notes. Well, maybe not lilac so much, but I think lilac does get a reputation for being a little bit old-fashioned. It's not one that you would find in a lot of modern perfumery. I believe the women's version of Guilty from Gucci does have it, but it definitely smells a lot more synthetic. But yeah, again, it's not really a note that I think appeals to a lot of the younger folks nowadays. And cucumber is one that I think a lot of people find to be quite vile, especially if you don't like aquatics. And I would definitely describe this to be quite an aquatic scent, but not oceanic in a way. It's watery because of the cucumber. I don't mind the smell of cucumber. I don't know if it's because I cook a lot. I make a lot of salads that use cucumber. I find that smell to be quite refreshing, but I think a lot of folks who especially aren't into like the fresh 90s type of fragrances probably hate that smell, and that's understandable. But back to my point about Olivia Giacobetti, she is a master at combining two notes that you wouldn't expect. She does it really well in Perfumers Passage d'Enfer, where she mixes lily and incense, and she does it really well again here with two different notes. So smelling this on myself, I would say that lilac and cucumber are the two main notes that you get from this fragrance, but I do get other things from it. So one is this slight hint of this breadiness. It's not a gourmand fragrance at all. I definitely would not categorize this as being like a culinary type of perfume at all. But there is something in it that kind of does remind me of smelling bread. And on top of that, when it dries down, it also gives off this muskiness that kind of reminds me of that vanillic muskiness from Musc Ravageur, but it's so light. It's not the focus of this perfume at all. It's really there to kind of ground the aquatic and floral nuances from this fragrance. Altogether, what I would say is that this perfume creates a very beautiful picture. I can't say that there's like one color that I get from this fragrance. What I would argue is that what I see in my head when I smell it is a lot of different colors that are kind of smeared together, as if you are looking outside of a window during a rainy day. And it has to be rainy because I think the wateriness from the cucumber gives me that kind of feel. But You're looking out the window, there's rain kind of smearing everything that you see through the window on the window pane, and outside, right outside the window, is a garden, and obviously there are going to be lilacs. There are different other colored florals that are out there in that garden. The colors that I would see are smeared together, melded in together, and it's not just one, although purple is probably in there somewhere. And the colors are kind of grayed out and subdued in a way. So this is, to me, a summertime type of fragrance because of the aquatic quality to it. But I think some people have called it somewhat happy. To me, I don't see it as like a bright, happy fragrance. What I get from it is more of this feeling of longing and almost nostalgic, but not depressing. So I say nostalgic in a way where you are longing for the past because you are remembering all these happy memories and you wish you could hold on to those memories and be in that moment, but you can't because it's all in the past. And I think that's why I feel that the name of it, En Passant, is perfect. It can be translated into by the way. If you take it into a more literal translation, it means in passing. And it does kind of give that sense of, you know, passing by things or admiring something that's transient. And I've talked about how this fragrance reminds me of one of my favorite films from Wong Kar-wai, which is In the Mood for Love. I'm not going to spoil it, but there is often that feeling of longing for someone that you can't really get with. And then also in that movie, the two main characters pass by each other very often and they kind of catch glimpses of each other. You know, that's the feeling I get from this fragrance. It's, you know, quite subdued. It's reserved in a way, but very beautiful. It's not a screaming type of perfume. It's not extroverted to me at all. It's smelling all these things as glimpses, as maybe short whiffs of flowers or the cucumber freshness. And you kind of wish that it would stay longer, but the lack of permanence is kind of part of the art of this fragrance. I think it was intentional that way. So that kind of leads me into the performance of this. I actually don't think the performance is that bad, even though it kind of gives that air of this, you know, fleeting thing. It's one that lasts about 6 hours on me, so, you know, kind of average. I've talked about how perfumes typically last on me for a very long time. This isn't as long as some of my other ones, but it's not bad. It's not one that is going to project far though. Although I wore this to the farmer's market today, I think a few people were able to smell it. They kind of turned their heads. One person kind of like, I heard him whiff. I don't know if they liked it, but I think people will smell it on you, but they have to be pretty close. And I did spray like 4 sprays of this. Seasons, it to me is a summer and springtime scent. This is a great one to wear if you want a good hot weather fragrance that isn't citrusy. I think it's hard to find those type of fragrances because oftentimes the ones that are marketed for that season tend to be the brighter citruses, and there is a time and place for those things, but you know, you get tired of those. So if you like florals especially, and you don't mind kind of like the old school type of smell from the lilacs, although I think the cucumber kind of adds this modern feel to it, this is a good one to try out. So those are my quick thoughts on En Passant. I really do love this fragrance. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts about Iris Poudre, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll do one. I wasn't planning on wearing that anytime soon because it's been so hot and it's such a thick perfume, but you know, I'm willing to do that review if you would like to hear my thoughts on that. But En Passant is one of my favorites from this house. I think I tend to like the earlier releases from Frederic Malle. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried this, and if not, do you like any of the other offerings from this house? Let me know. And I will see you again next time. Maybe another quick review or a different type of perfume video. All right, bye.